If I'm being honest with myself, my body and I haven't always been on the best terms. There were times where I constantly neglected my body's needs, and I was always blaming my shortcomings on genetics. And to put it mildly, I honestly was just tired of constantly making excuses for why I could never have the body that I wanted, and I wanted to test the theory and see if I actually gave it 100% and I did everything possible towards achieving my dream body, what would happen? I had heard a lot about a challenge called 75 Hard, both good and bad.
That's the major criticism that people give 75 Hard, which I think is funny, is they say, well, it's not sustainable. Bullshit, it isn't. We're changing your fucking habits, bro. We're changing your mind. We're changing everything about you.
So what actually is a 75 Hard challenge? It's created by Andy Frisella, and he basically marketed it as it's not a fitness challenge. It's a transformative mental toughness program, and I can speak to that. It definitely is. It consists of completing 6 daily tasks. Task number 1 is you have to take a progress photo every single day. Task number 2 is you have to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book. 3 is you have to complete 2 45-minute workouts a day. 1 must be outdoors. You have to drink a gallon of water every single day. A diet of your choice, and also you can't consume any alcohol. I just was not happy at all with my body, and I think for a long time, I hadn't been happy with my body. I've been consistent in the gym for over a year, and I was working out the entire time, but I was eating terribly. I would just eat pretty much whatever I want, and I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna work it off in the gym. I learned the hard way that working out consistently, and if you're not eating healthy, it doesn't matter. It literally is gonna cancel it out. So I went on the journey to do 75 days, non-stop, no negotiations, no excuses, and Day 1. Early on in 75 Hard, it wasn't super difficult. I think I was really just excited. I was really just on an adrenaline high, and I downloaded the app, and it was really cool to just have a checklist of things I had to accomplish every day. And that kind of just kept me going momentum wise. And like I said, I had already been consistent in the gym working out. So the working out part was very exciting for me. It was a little challenging transitioning from doing 1 workout to 2 workouts, but I accepted it because I never really worked out outside before this challenge, and I actually really like being outdoors. I like putting my feet in the grass, and it really just brings me a sense of calm. Working outside and working out in the gym, I felt like was a good balance for me for my mental health. I just felt clearer. And I decided to do 75 Hard during the most difficult season. I started in October, right before Halloween, and my last day was January 6th. I went through Halloween, I went through Thanksgiving, I went through Christmas and New Year's. And I did that intentionally because I wanted to really push myself. Like, I know during the holidays, it's a great time for people to make excuses. Like, let's be real. I'm one of those people, holidays come around, you give into your treats, you give into the desserts and all that. And I just was like, I don't want that life anymore. Wanted to embrace this fully, and I felt like me doing it during those holiday seasons would be a real true test of my character and like what I'm capable of. Definitely there were days where it wasn't easy. I had various events and things happening during 75 Hard. My husband had a film screening for his newest documentary, and I had to make sure that I got both my workout ins before I went to the screening, and making sure I brought my gallon with me. And this challenge really taught me a lot about time management. There was a lot of days where it was like 7 o'clock and I still hadn't finished my gallon. Or if I had an early morning, I really had to prioritize, okay, what am I gonna do? If I had a late work meeting. So it really was a lot of just figuring things out, negotiating, figuring out what I can do earlier, trying to save time, because that is gonna help you. Because there are days where you don't want to get up and work out twice. And it was hard, but that's the thing, like this was meant to be hard. And I think that I embraced that because I truly believe that through struggle, there's growth. But nothing really could prepare me for when I got sick. Ew, gross. In the middle of 75 Hard, I think I was maybe in the 30s or 40s. I had got sick, but I was sick for around 3 weeks and it just wasn't getting any better. I felt like absolute shit. And in those moments, it was really, really difficult to keep pushing through. Mentally, you're like, I have these tasks I have to complete, that I have to get done. I still did it, let's be clear. But I had to pivot and I had to adjust. So for my 2 workouts, my first workout indoors, I would do sick yoga. It's a real thing. And it was very low impact. Or I would do stretching and then do a light like dance video, something like where I'm just still moving my body. And then for my outdoor workouts, I would walk my dog around the block for 45 minutes. It was hard, especially because I just felt like I wasn't really getting better, because it had been about 3 weeks of just continuous coughing and mucus and just gross. I went to the doctor, I went to urgent care, and they told me that I had a sinus infection. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. That explained why I was feeling so shitty. Doing 75 hard during getting sick, it really just showed me what I'm capable of. Was I slower to get things done? Absolutely. Was it challenging? 100%. But I still showed up for myself in those moments, and I did what I could and still stuck to my guidelines. But after I went to the doctor and they prescribed medication, antibiotics, I did start to feel better. And at that point, I was like, nothing can stop me. There was just something in me that was just so excited. Like once I got to around day 50, you couldn't tell me anything. I was like, I've made it this far. I can make it another 20 something days. And then we got to around New Year's. I really started seeing the transition in my body around that time. I felt like that girl. I could literally start seeing the difference in my body, like my back. I just felt like my back looked so sexy. I was really feeling myself. And prior to around New Year's, I really, some days I would feel good, some days I'd be like, oh, I'm not really seeing the difference. But it was around that mark that I really started to kind of see the change in my body. My clothes were fitting differently. Things that were once really tight on me started to fit more naturally, and it felt like I wasn't like forcing myself into it. How I was fitting in my clothes was different, and that really brought me more joy. And I know you guys are probably excited to see the end result. So I will show you guys here that at the end of my 75 hard journey, I lost a total of 22 pounds, which is freaking insane. This is what I look like before, and this is what I look like afterward. And it was a bit of a transformation. I think that, like I said, I really didn't start noticing it until towards the end of the journey. But I can see very clearly in these photos that there's a difference. Honestly, I just feel better, and I just feel more confident. I've always been a girl that's pretty confident. I've never really struggled with my confidence, but I feel even more confident than I was in that former body of mine. And this challenge showed me the power of letting your mind push you further. And then with your mind being strong, your body, in fact, will become stronger as well. So I'm forever grateful. It honestly has completely changed my life. I don't say that lightly. Like, I genuinely had such a positive experience from it. And I had a little 75 hard party where I celebrated my transformation with all my friends, my family, my husband, and it was incredible. The journey doesn't stop for me here. I'm 22 pounds down, but I want to get under 200, ideally around 180. And I know I can do it because I lost 22 pounds in 75 days. The sky is the absolute limit for me. And if you are interested in doing 75 hard, I 1000% recommend it because it's honestly just changed my life.